Hello, VC, vinyl community. Logan coming to you from Nerdy Vinyl. And today I've got some stuff to show you that I am very excited about. Um, I was finally able to get out of the house this week. I finally got over COVID, was able to go back to work. So that was cool. That was Wednesday. And then uh, I've been cooped up in the house for 2 weeks. I wanted to get out and hunt some records. So, let's see, turn this just a little bit here. Cool. So, the other night, I went to a place here in town called Brass Armadillo. If you've never heard of them, they are an antique mall. We have one here in Omaha. There's one in Des Moines and one in Kansas City. Those are the three I know about. But I do know that they have a handful of, I don't know exactly how many. I'd have to look that up. But I do know that they are throughout at least the Midwest. But it's one of those indoor swap meet type places where different vendors have booths, and they just put their stuff there, and then you shop, and then the people that run the place, the Brass Armadillo, they sell it for them. That, so you're not actually dealing with the vendor one on one. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. I've been there a few times looking for vinyl, and I found some things here and there a few times. And then when I've been in the past, there's only really ever been two booths that are just strictly music. Then you might find an album here and there throughout. But this time, I found a lot of people that were selling records in there. So it was pretty cool this time. There... I don't really want to rant about this. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this in this video. But the one complaint I would have about this time was, I think that a lot of the newer people that are starting to sell vinyl and records are doing so knowing that vinyl is very big right now. So they think that because it's a vinyl record that it's worth money. Or, oh, I know that album, it's worth money. Or what, and they're charging way more than what their stuff is worth. So there was a lot of stuff I saw that I wanted, that I didn't get because for what it was, the condition it was in, they were charging way, way too much. To give you an example, one person had a copy of Tommy from The Who, not the movie album, but the actual album, the blue diamond or square geometric thing on it. I don't know what's that supposed to be. But anyways, copy of that, $40. Okay. And it was blown apart. Not a single seam was intact on it. It was just, you picked it up and the thing literally fell apart in my hands, and they $40. Okay. That's the kind of stuff I ran into, but rant over on that. I don't want to spend much. What did I find? Found some cool stuff. One of the booths that has music, they have records from almost every genre. They don't sell a lot of your common, I don't know, dollar bin fodder is what I call it. That stuff being stuff like a lot of your old easy listening, like all your like Ray Conniff stuff that we see here and there, and being in the Midwest, I don't know if it's like this everywhere, but when I go shopping secondhand, I find a lot of Eddie Arnold, a lot of Statler Brothers, a lot of old country that and you see the same ones over and over and over again. But this place, they special. Their stuff is just, they don't carry that stuff. They're 70s, 80s rock, 60s rock. They do have jazz, a lot of jazz, a lot of metal, punk. That's what they focus on. And I picked something up there that I saw a couple months ago and I didn't get it because it's a single. And I was like, you know what? I'm not really into singles that much. So I didn't get it. This time I did. Because I just really wanted it. It is The Warrior by Scandal with Patti Smith. It's got the promo only stamp on the back. I picked, this was $3. So yeah, I was like, you know what? That's kind of a cool one to have. I'll get that. Alright. The next one I got was Tammy Wynette, her favorite hits. This was in a place that didn't used to have records in it, and they had a lot. So I picked it up. I've been wanting some Tammy Wynette. Mainly, what I tend to find is like the DIVORCE album. And then you find a couple other randos here and there. This being a greatest hits has, you know, songs that are her most famous ones. You know, Divorce, Stand By Your Man, Apartment Number 9, The Happiest Girl in the Whole USA, Your Good Girl's Gonna Go Bad. This is just, I was just really happy when I found this, and it's in mint condition. So that was really cool, and this was $4 for that. So, you know, wasn't gonna pass it up for that price. Now, this one I was very excited about, Freddie Fender, Before the Last Teardrop Falls. This is a great album. I love this album. Good Tejano style country that's pretty popular in San Diego when I was a kid. Now this one I picked up for $4. Or no, sorry, I take it back, $3. There was another place that had two different copies of this. One was $13, and I'm guessing they were selling it because it still had the shrink on it, but it wasn't. It was blown out. They had split the top here, trying to put a security sticker in there. So, and they had a bunch like that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, some people, I don't know if they just don't know what they're selling or how to sell it or how to price it or how to handle it or take care. It's just, that's how it is. But whatever. But no, $3 for this. I got it the other night. I think I got it Thursday night. I've listened to it probably about 6 times since then. Another one I picked up there, John Fogerty's Center Field. Again, just another album that I've always wanted. Not necessarily just on vinyl, just I've always wanted this album. I've always loved this album. So, there you go. $4 for this? I think I only paid $5 for one of the albums I got. It might have been that one. I think I paid $5 for that. So, there you go. Moving on. I'm already at 9 minutes, so I need to hurry up. Another shop in Omaha that I went to today. I went downtown. We have a store called Hollywood Candy, which is a giant candy store that also sells a lot of old school antique collectibles, stuff like that. They also have 3 different vinyl sections. One that's theirs, and the other 2 are people put their stuff there, and they sell it for them. I found 2 albums there. First one, Whitesnake. Yeah. I'm not a huge Whitesnake fan. I like them good enough, and I just saw this and I was like, you know what? I've never seen Whitesnake on vinyl, and it's got Here I Go Again on it, so I'll get it. You see, $12 for that, but it's really clean, really good shape, so I picked it up. All right. Next, Garden Party by Rick Nelson. This is again, a lot of stuff I found this week I'm so excited about because it's all stuff that I've been looking for or stuff that I've wanted for a long time. This album being one of them. Every time I see it, it's a common. I see it everywhere, but I never pulled the trigger on it because it's always beat up. This one, the vinyl's clean. The jacket is as clean as I've ever seen, and $6. I have a few Ricky Nelson albums. I've, grew up listening to it, loved it since I was a kid. But this song, Garden Party, I'll try to do a quick story on this. A few years ago, my mother and I went to a show, and it was 2 acts. The first act was this guy who has made his career as a John Denver impersonator. And he does it from the stance of he educates people on the life of John Denver and his music. That was very cool. John Denver fan. The other part of the show was the same kind of a deal, but it was the Nelson brothers, Rick Nelson's sons. They had a band in the 80s or 90s. It was not very good. But then they played a bunch of their dad's songs. One of the songs they did was this one, and they told the story of this song that I had never heard before. And ever since I heard the story, I was like, that's my new favorite Ricky Nelson song. So for people that don't know, I'll give you the Cliff's Notes version of the story. There was a show, a big concert in Madison Square Garden. Ricky Nelson and a bunch of people from that era, 50s and 60s, like Chuck Berry and others, went to play this show. And at that time, he had already changed his name to Rick Nelson and was doing the whole like honky-tonk Western thing, okay? When he got there, everybody wanted the classics. Traveling Man, Mary Lou, all those songs, right? Well, he went on stage and they did a couple of those songs, but then they started playing their new stuff, their honky-tonk stuff, and he was booed off the stage, okay? A man who grew up as part of America's family his whole life, loved by America, booed off stage because he was playing new stuff that people didn't know. The references in the song to the people that were there, some are pretty obvious. Yoko brought her walrus. Obviously, we're talking John Lennon. Interesting part of the story that I didn't know, and I've told this to people before, and apparently it's not a big thing that people know. The part of the song where he says, Mr. Hughes hid in Dylan's shoes. When the Nelson brothers were babies, they lived next door to Bob Dylan. And Bob Dylan, in order to keep himself secret, people wouldn't know where he lived and all that stuff, bought the house and listed it as the residence of a Mr. Hughes. I can't remember what the first name was, but it was Hughes. So that's where you get that line, Mr. Hughes hid in Dylan's shoes, because Bob Dylan was there, but he had this other persona that was like a way of living in secret. So learning all these things about that song made it my favorite song. And so I've always wanted this album, and I'm very happy I got it. Okay, I gotta move along. So, sorry, I tell too many stories, and I know that, but it's what I do. Okay. Another album that I saw at the place the other night was, I saw a couple Buffett albums that I wanted. One of them being this one, Volcano. And I almost bought it, but they wanted $20 for it, and it wasn't in great shape. And I looked up on Discogs, and on Discogs, that was way ridiculous. $20 for this. So, but today I found this for 10, and it is very good shape. It's got a little boogering going on, but it's very beautiful. It's got nice gatefold. And this one is a promo copy, so I thought that was cool too. Another one that they had at this place called this shop's called Vinyl Cup. It's very cool. Very cool place. They give you beer, so that's cool. They're right next door to a local brewery, and so they just have their beer on hand. They go, "Would you like a beer with the shop?" So another Buffett one they had, Havana Daydreamin', and it's got this cut out on the corner. I see this all the time. If anybody knows what the deal is with that, is that something that, because I honestly don't know, is that something that the record labels used to do, or is that something people used to do to their own records? I don't, if somebody can explain that, please let me know, because I genuinely want to know. But this is another one that I've wanted, and again, just a nice gatefold. God, every time I find Jimmy Buffett albums, it makes me very happy on the inside, because I'm just such a parrot head that it's part of my goal, like I've said multiple times, to collect all of his albums. Interesting enough, I was checking out, and the gal at that shop said, "Oh, we just bought a collection from somebody." You know how record stores do. They buy somebody's dead dad's collection. Apparently, the guy had every Buffett album, and they haven't put them out for sale yet. And so I asked, I said, "Is there any way I can get on that on a list to be notified when they are available? Because I will buy the ones I don't have from you guys." And she's like, "Well, we can't. You gotta stay to watch our Instagram and our Facebook, and we usually, put that information out on." So I'm gonna try to reach out to the owner via social media and see if I can get on a short list for that, because that would be awesome. Because there's a few that I still need, but one in particular is Songs You Know by Heart, his greatest hits album. We've all seen it. It's that yellow with the red the Jimmy Buffett signature on it. But the vinyl, I'm pretty sure you can get it with that jacket. But there's another jacket that's him, where it's him in a hammock with a parrot. That's and that's the one I want. And so I'm biding my time, hoping that becomes a thing. Anyways, try to get the wraps up. Another shop I went to. These three shops I went to today are literally like a triangle on a street. One's here, one's directly across the street, and the other one's directly across the street from that. Very, very convenient. The one I went to, called Grapefruit Records, they also do a lot of, their stuff is all very good selection across the board of many, many things. And I found an album, again, that I've been looking for a very long time. You're like, "Yeah, dude, we get it. You say that all the time. You love every album." Well, I do. But this album, I legit have been looking for a long time. And once I started collecting vinyl of this band, this has been one that I've wanted and I've been looking for, and nobody ever has it. I've never found it, and then today I found it, and I was like, I'm not leaving here without that. And it is Dead Kennedys, Bedtime for Democracy. This, I have Fresh Fruit for Writing Vegetables. I've showed that a bunch. I say that's my favorite Dead Kennedys album. And it is. But this one has got to be a very, very close second. Because this has I want to open this and show you. This has, again, I don't want to say it's my favorite song of theirs, but if it's not my favorite, it's definitely tied for my first favorite. And it's Rambozo the Clown. Just an awesome song. Make a lot of references to 80s war movies, like not really necessarily war movies, but like 80s teenager war, like Red Dawn, Iron Eagle, you know. But it's also got Dear Abby, Take This Job and Shove It. What's the other ones? Macho and Security, which is pretty great. Anarchy for Sale, Chicken Shit Conformist, Where You Draw the Line, Pot Shot Heard Around the World. It's pretty great. But the jacket is, sorry, so it's, you got the Statue of Liberty, and then it folds out to the bottom half, and then inside you've got this guy right here. I mean, yeah, just this one I dropped some change on, and as soon as I saw it, it was one of those things. It was like, doesn't really matter how much that costs. It's going home with me. But yeah, so I had a very good record hunting week. I found stuff that I didn't know I wanted, and I found stuff that I've wanted. I did find, and I'm going to wrap up on this, at this Grapefruit Records, they had something that I'm probably going to kick myself in the ass for not getting. And what it is I've said multiple times on this channel and videos that I want Oingo Boingo on vinyl. 2 albums specifically, Dead Man's Party and Only a Lad. Well, as I was checking out, I was looking through this little side bin that they had, and they had an Oingo Boingo hits compilation for $40, and I almost bought it. Here's why I didn't. The side 1 was mostly stuff from the Only a Lad. It seemed like side 2, and then the rest of the stuff was stuff I didn't really know. And I was like, do I want this, or do I want to hold out and get the 2 albums I really want, or do I want to just get this because I've never seen Oingo Boingo on vinyl ever? And so I didn't buy it. I bought this. I was like, dude, that would have been like over $70 right there, and I just couldn't bring myself to do it, to pull the trigger on it. So who knows? Like I said, I'm probably gonna kick myself for that. But it is what it is. Like I said, I got stuff that I've needed and wanted, and I'm happy with everything I got this week. So yeah, that's it. Hope you're still here. You sat through all my bullshit. Yeah. I got some ideas for some videos coming up that I'm gonna try to make. And we'll see how they go. They will, and I'm just gonna tell you right now, they're gonna be story videos about me talking about. I want to do stuff that's like telling people things about songs or artists or albums that maybe they didn't know. It might be common knowledge to some people, but there might be some people out there that didn't know that. Like the story about Garden Party. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that don't know that what it's about. And so I thought that might be a fun kind of way to get this random knowledge out of my head. But that's it, guys. This is 25 minutes. Appreciate you sticking around if you're still here. If not, then I don't know. Deuces. All right. Talk to you later, YouTube. See ya.